Hello there folks, Cranky Cuber here. We are back with another installment on the Eurorack modular series. Today we're going to build the VCO. VCO is a voltage controlled oscillator. This is a module from es.EDU, done in collaboration with Moritz Klein, who designed all the modules in this kit. So I'm building them one by one, and I'm going to post the build videos and then probably demonstrate them. And then my sister over on her channel is going to make music with them. Anyway, let's get into it. So we have a Eurorack power cable right here. This end right here goes into the module, and this end goes into the power in the case. All right, so I'll show you this under the microscope. You'll notice it's got red dots on the edge here. That is pin 1, and that is how you know how it should be oriented. So the most important components, we'd have to build it on a strip board if we didn't have these, is the PC board right here. And it looks like it's got stuff on both sides, so we'll have to work that out as we build it. And then we have the front panel right here. So that's your front panel, and it's got a bunch of jacks, and then it's got some potentiometers, some small ones here and a big one here. Now let's get the parts out. It's hard to set up for a close-up of what I'm working on and not get my damn head in the way, because I got this giant head with a hat on and everything. So I'm going to do it under the microscope. All right, I've got the VCO built and it's ready to go in the case. So let's put it in the case and get it hooked up, and then we can look at it on the oscilloscope to see what it does. All right, I'm gonna put it probably in this slot because I think this slot is where the sequencer goes. So I'm gonna put it here for now. So what we do is we put our cable in here, making sure that our pin 1 is here. And then same deal, we want to put it in here with pin 1. I'm just going to pick one here. There we go. Okay, so we need a way to look at this. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the oscilloscope. I've got 2 probes hooked up. They're not the best probes ever, but they're pretty good probes. Let's start by looking at the sawtooth output. So we got her hooked up, we got power, we We have power here, we have power here. So we turn it on, it should start doing things. And oh look, it's doing something. So we've got this thing plugged into the oscilloscope. It is doing a ramp wave. So this calls the saw. Basically, it starts high and then ramps down and then immediately goes high, ramps down. So it's like if you took a triangle wave and shifted it all the way to the left so that it rose immediately, it would be a sawtooth. And the frequency is measuring from these peaks, between these peaks. And so we're getting about 31 hertz. Well, what if we run it all the way up? Let's see what happens. So we can get about 4.5 kilohertz out of this. We can do a coarse tuning with this knob, and this will take us all the way back down to 31 hertz. I'm just going to keep changing the scale. We can also do fine tuning. So I can actually fine tune it down to 26 hertz with this little fine tuner here. And then we can tune it back up to about, well, we're a little over. So I just put it in the middle and we're back up to about 31 hertz. So this gives us a little bit of fine tuning adjustment. It's not bad. Well, let's look at the square wave. Okay, they call it pulse. Let me put that in here. Here we go. All right, so as you can see, we've got square wave. So it stays up, stays down, stays up, stays down, and the transitions are almost immediate. And it also goes from about 31 hertz, about 30 hertz, up to, 4.5 kilohertz. We can also watch the waves right now. So right now the duty cycle is pretty much right in the middle. So it's about half on, half off, but I can change the duty cycle by turning to the left. And what it does is it makes its off time very short and its on time very long for the frequency. So you can see there's a little tiny bit where it's off and then it's on and then it's off and then it's on. Then we can go all the way up to, what else can we do? Yeah, we can take it where it's off and barely on. So, and you can do anything in between that. Now, the other cool thing that this VCO does is it has an input for 1 volt per octave. And what this allows us to do is control the frequency of this oscillator with something external. All right, I'm curious to see how this thing sounds. Hopefully you are too, so let's get to that. In order to hook this thing up, we need an output stage. We need something that will take it to line level, because when I plug it into my Scarlett audio interface, I don't want to send 10, 12 volts peak to peak into it. Just don't want to. Seems risky. Would like to not do that. It'll probably handle it, but I'm not doing that. All right, well, we have this happy output stage right here. And I'm just gonna put it over here on the right side. Okay, so we have one input coming into here. We have a stereo output here on the line out and phones. Okay, now we're not going to hear sound yet. I want to show you on the oscilloscope what we got going on. So we have one signal going into one side right now. I have the left side hooked up to channel 2 for some reason, and I have the right side hooked up to channel 1. All right. So looking at the oscilloscope right now, what you can see is channel 1 is not outputting anything. So there's nothing coming out of the right side. And if we put on headphones to listen to it, we would only hear stuff coming out of our left ear. Now watch the two signals as I pan it. So here we go. I'm going to start panning. Watch the yellow line. See the yellow line? Starts to turn into our signal. And as we cross the middle, the blue line also starts to attenuate down. And now all of our sound is coming out of the right channel. So that's it. That's all this output module does. So what you're hearing is a sawtooth wave coming out of the VCO. Hopefully you're hearing it. I can hear it. It is at its lowest frequency. Go a little bit lower with the fine-tuning knob. And we can change frequencies just by turning this knob. This is a square wave. Square wave has a lot more harmonics. You can also fool with the pulse width. I'm just sweeping the pulse width back and forth. That's pretty much what you can do with this thing without any kind of controls. However, one thing I was playing with was this sequencer. So let's see if I can get the sequencer in. Okay, so we got this sequence going. It's pretty static, but we can do stuff with it. Like if I sweep this, the pulse width, see, it changes the nature of the sound. Still the same notes, just different sound. Anyway, so this is the VCO. It basically works. We're able to hear it. And I think next, since I already have this sequencer, I'm gonna wait to build the sequencer in the kit for a while because I don't need it. The next thing we'll probably want is, I'm guessing, a VCA or a VCF. I'll flip a coin to decide which one of those. Whichever one of those I do next, I will definitely do an envelope generator right after that. With that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.